What's up, you guys? This is Robert at Shy Bears Plus. You can follow me on Twitter at Shy Bears Plus and Instagram Shy Bears Plus. Along with me today for our show is
Jeff, contributor to Shy Bears Plus. You can follow me on Twitter at +_shy, but I haven't been tweeting that much. I've been in a little bit of depression since Sunday evening.
Oh, wow, in High Bear Nation, if you will. But, yeah, man, this is Jeff. I'm Robert. What we want to go over today was our Week 1 reaction show. I already dropped a crispy video of my reactions and thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, but we're just getting Jeff in here contributing. And a lot to talk about. I say we jump right in and get right to it. So, I know in my video I was saying it was such a crazy game. It was a tale of two cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. The game was totally bipolar. It was up and down. Walk me through how you were feeling in that first half into the halftime, if you will, please.
Yeah, from the defensive side, I was extremely enthusiastic and euphoric, jumping around, playing Return of the Mac on YouTube, Snapchatting it, dancing around. I was calling stuff. Let's get a forced fumble here. Boom, happened. Let's get a pick six. No kidding. I called both those plays.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. The first two drives of the Bears offense, I was like, Matt Nagy picked up right where he left off in the preseason. We had interesting formations. James Leto split out. We ran some misdirection. We came out in the power T or the T formation. We love how we thrilled the nation. We had a 9-play drive, first drive of the game, 7 run to 2 pass. We scored a touchdown there. We had a field goal the second drive of the game. And we had almost as many as run as pass, so I really like the balance with that. So first half was a state of euphoria and really top 3 defenses here.
Yeah, man, they were moving the ball so great. It did feel so good. Because I was a little bit worried in the preseason. We didn't get to see the ones, and we didn't get to see the ones marching on the field over and over. So, I mean, there was those question marks, even though I felt that we had the element of surprise, man.
Taylor Gabriel, we saw Taylor Gabriel connect early, A-Rob connect early, so they definitely made it a point. And they do script the first 15 plays, right. Andy Reid, Mike Holmgren, so on and so forth, Bill Walsh. This is how far Matt Nagy comes from. And Walsh comes from Paul Brown. So, I mean, the lineage is royalty. So, yeah, like you said, you're a little apprehensive. How is that going to these first stringers come? They look great.
Yeah, I did really want to see early on to get Allen Robinson involved and maybe have a wide receiver moment, if you will, that we didn't get to see in the preseason. So, I mean, he made a big catch, and you're like, all right, that's that WR1 moment. That's what we've been waiting to see. That's why we paid the money. So, and then, it was good to see Taylor Gabriel get involved. Was there anything about the first half that you didn't like? Because, I mean, I know personally there was far and few things between, but, what you got?
Well, just how the offense seemed to lack rhythm, especially in the second quarter. We finished the half with 3 3-and-outs, and it just like, I think you and I spoke about it. It was a loss of identity, I felt like. Or we spoke about that in the second half, but it crept into the first half, and it gave me apprehension going into the second half. Rodgers' leg was split in half and everything, but we'll kind of lead into that here shortly. But I didn't like how the play calling was on both sides of the fence, and the lack of rhythm. I really thought we could have had a chance to put the Packers away in that second quarter, and we didn't, and we failed to do so.
Sure. At halftime, I don't know, I was feeling super swaggy. I was getting on Periscope, letting people know how I felt, establishing the dominance of the Bears from now until forever. The new era, saying all this silly stuff, man, and I was on cloud 9. I was checked up, bro. How were you feeling?
You had the same, all of Chicagoland the same. I think that's why this loss hurt so much is because we were so peaked. The end. You couldn't. That first half was a storybook first half. That first half was. I mean, how the heck better can you draw it up?
Well, Mac.
It was everything you could ask for. We knocked the quarterback out of the game. Mac with pick, forced fumble recovery, touchdown. We saw Roquan Smith really flash there. Just everything was in our favor. It was the greatest halftime in Chicago Bears history since 2005 Super Bowl.
Then it was the worst of times. Any highlights or lowlights? Do you want to start off with the things that you liked in a second? Or was do you want to just go with the overall mood and just because I have a feeling I spoke to you briefly about it.
I'll just say, you're playing the Packers in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing Aaron Rodgers, and you kind of felt like that storybook, he was going to come back, and they were kind of talking about it at halftime. So I'm not counting my chickens. I'm not that type of person, but regardless, it's like I wasn't counting my chickens. Yeah, we're up 20-0, and we looked great in the first half. We got Khalil Mack, this and that, but Khalil Mack's going to run out of gas sooner or later, and we're playing Aaron Rodgers, possibly the best quarterback ever, at home, Monday Night Football with a super young coach and quarterback. A lot of hesitation about to proceed, and I could keep going if you want me to.
No, yeah. I didn't have that apprehension. I thought that we were going to be dealing with Kaiser until Rodgers came back. I was like, oh, he's not coming back. I pretty much saw his leg go. So
yeah,
I'm like, man,
I thought he was out for the year.
Yeah, I did too. I was actually shocked, and then I was like, that's when I started getting a little apprehensive. I'm like, we would need to start making sure we get down in field goals at least and scoring touchdowns again. There's no more coasting through this one because how many times have you seen it? If it wasn't Favre, it's been Rodgers, and it's been my entire adult life of just ruining my life.
Yeah. I have a bad taste in my mouth from Vic Fangio and two things. Okay. Number one, not playing Roquan Smith enough. It was apparent in the first quarter, even though we're getting pressured, that Nick Kwiatkowski is unable to be a coverage defensive player. He is unable to be a three-down linebacker. That was apparent. And the fact that Roquan Smith, yes, I understand his first week, he didn't play all that much. We're trying to ease him in. He looked great. Mm-hmm. I believe he only got 2 series the entire game, maybe 3. Far too less. I thought they would go with Mac. From what I saw, they'd do Mac first half and Smith second half. Yeah. They didn't do that either. They started to put Mac more in the center of the field, and he really flashed, and he proved that he is that sideline to sideline, and he was really hitting and finishing with authority. But the fact that Fangio, more so for the first 3 to 5 series of the second half, really was in a vanilla base defense and did not pressure a injured Rodgers, and if he did, it was more like a middle linebacker arrow and nothing exotic. There was no hiding of coverages really there. There was no stunts. There was no cornerback blitzes to get the immobile Rodgers, and just the way that we sat back and I felt like we were a bit arrogant that, okay, we're just going to sit back here and coast on this 20-0 lead. That really left a bad taste in my mouth, and we're going to need some wins to take that taste out.
Yeah, with Fangio, I felt like their strategy was to everybody bull rush. Everybody that was the only way they wanted to pass rush. And get your man and keep him in front of you, and so you can either push him back and be able to disengage either way so that he wouldn't come around either gap on you. They were really focusing on trying to contain him, but that was the thing.
He wasn't going anywhere.
Where's he going to run?
Right.
So, I want to bring Roquan up. I wanted him in coverage, maybe on third down. They could have split that up, maybe not play him the whole time, sub him in for these.
Couple third down.
I don't mind Quick playing in the first and second down. are obvious run plays, second down, but the what are you hiding from?
I'm calling plays over here. I'm gonna write.
Nasty
I'm gonna
Nagy.
write B.
But
I'm gonna
yeah,
write BU.
they should have came
Like
right after
Matt
him. Is what I was
Nagy
trying
had
to
on
say.
his play
Just come
sheet.
right at him. He ain't running anywhere. Bring that blitz up the middle. Smell the blood, and don't wait until the last series to start calling blitzes. You had a chance, just like any other player in the league. When they get hurt, most defensive coordinators say, "Okay, I smell blood. Let's go." So
Yeah, and BU, just like Matt Nagy had on his play calling sheet. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that.
Yeah, it's on the bottom corner, and
What'd that mean?
Sports Mockery made note of it that he failed to be himself when he said he was going to be. And first year coach, okay, I'll cut him some slack on that, but he said he learned from his wild card playoff loss in Kansas City when they were up big at first half and they squandered the lead with exotic lateral passing in late in the game situation on short yardages instead of running it with Kareem Hunt or in this case Jordan Howard. He kind of reverted back to that I'm smarter than you mentality. I don't know if that's obviously he probably wasn't trying to be braggadocious or anything like that. He was just calling plays in which his mind thought we're going to execute and get us third down. But time and time again, I bet our third down conversion rate was probably less than 25%. I wish I had that number with me right now. I could probably get it real quick.
I can't. All my screens are used up here, unfortunately. I struggled with being overly critical of Nagy, because there's that times I see everyone going on third down. You got to run the ball. You got to run the ball. You got to run the ball. You know what? If Sims gets some depth on third down, you get that play. You get your first down. I think it was against the Chiefs where you had a third or a second and shortened the goal line. And we didn't run the ball, and we ran a play action, and we did a little slip out to Burton, and he walked in for a touchdown. When they work, they work. Sometimes it's execution, and I think that he wants to be not obvious on obvious downs.
I see that, but and obvious what you said, not being obvious, going to the tight end to the blocking tight end. Oh, now he's going to slip out for that. But that's another problem I have with Nagy is that Sims did not have a good game. Sims did not have a good first half. So why keep going to the well with somebody that is right? They got $5 million wrapped up in him. That's the reason why he's still on the team.
Oh yeah.
But they why not go Broniker or Brown or one of these other tight ends that have shown they have the ability with a little bit of athleticism, and maybe they run that route a little bit deeper. But Sims has not done anything, and he didn't do anything that first half. So from a coaching standpoint, to put that player in that position with one of the most important downs of the game. That to me rubs me the wrong way. It's like you're not going to your playmaker. No, you're going to try to outsmart somebody. Instead of running a slant with Miller or A-Rob, something like that where you have these big bodies that are able to catch in congested areas. It's like, no, I'm going to run a bootleg third and one passing play, and the route is going to be a half yard.
Right. I am a fan of going to your playmakers. Your obvious best players on your team in pressure situations and stuff like that. I am with that. I know in the second half, I jumped right on Twitter and I said, all right, now get in shotgun and hand the ball off to Howard and do it until they can stop it. Because I didn't think they could stop the inside zone, bro. I don't know who's going to stop
it. They couldn't. Here, let's do this. Is another thing that I'm still fuming over. It's
okay,
Jordan
man.
Howard averages 4.5 yards a carry, but when we need 1 yard, we're going to pass it to Sims, or we're going to not pass it. Or we're going to do something goofy.
Sure.
Howard. I thought, when we get into one of the questions that you're going to ask later about what am I comfortable with, or what am I'm not worried about moving forward. Jordan Howard's one of those guys. I thought he looked great catching the ball out of the backfield. Blitz pickup, he's a 3-down back, and I think he's a guy that could honestly get 12 to 1,500 yards carrying. Got to give him the ball, though.
Yeah. Couple things on that. Coming into that game, he was averaging 6.5 yards per carry out of shotgun. I love him running out of shotgun. And I want to feed him 20, and I also want to see Cohen get 5 or 6. And I believe you could do that and effectively move the chains and still pass the ball plenty. And the RPOs, the R is run. It's you start with the run and then you pass off with the run option depending on what the defenders do. That is a run thing. So the double screens, I'm in the screen stuff. I mean, that's fine if you're in. I really love screens in like 3rd and long situations. They're going to start pinning the ears back, or that they're coming at you, that they're going to start bringing the house and stuff like that. But it's hard to fool a team sitting back in zone. That because everything's right in front of them. It's hard to. So yeah, that was just kind of my couple of takes. What else did you have on the second half?
Just Nagy and Fangio just kind of let the team down. I thought it was expected that Mac was going to deteriorate after a while.
Yeah.
He played so much. I mean, if he sat 10 plays, and although the Packers didn't play that many plays, it wasn't a 70, 80 play game for the Packers, but you thought Mac was there was gonna be a time where Mac was done, and you saw that, and obviously the Fuller catch. He tried. You could tell he was trying to get in the end zone before he even had the ball. That was not great. I thought Mitchell. I thought Mitchell was just like so. He didn't. That second half especially, very happy feet, missing reads. Even when he had the right read, he was a little too fast with some mechanics. Didn't hit the guy. He missed Cohen in the flat. I think he missed somebody else. Pass behind on maybe Burton on a crucial 3rd down. I didn't think Mitch had a great half. He did. No. He was like 18 for 21 at one point in the game. But I think some of that was on Nagy not going to, with some very vanilla, I'm rambling, very vanilla passing routes, but Mitchell just very poor second half.
I agree, and I'm the biggest Mitchell guy, but I would like to see him improve. I feel like he ran those scripted plays very well, and they kind of got into a situation where they changed some things up, and then I wish I had the all 22, and I wish I had time to go through 3 hours and diagram every single defense that they threw at us, but I really felt like he was looking at option 1 or 2, and if he didn't see what he thought he was going to see, he immediately started to want to go run the ball because maybe he just doesn't have enough time in the offense to know where option 3 and 4 are, or maybe he just you hate to say it, but maybe he's a little skittish back there, and I don't want to say it, and I don't feel like it is, but I felt like when he was in control and he had familiarity and comfort with the plays, which he had in the first half, he was fine. So I think that's what's going to take time, and that's something that's going to progress over the season. So hopefully I didn't steal that from you, because I don't know if you were going to talk about that later on.
No, that's a astute observation, and I think you're correct. And let's hope he develops, because if he is a one read and panic kind of guy, then yes, he's still young. But if that's all he's going to be, then
yeah.
Go defense.
I just know, watching all those quarterbacks out of that draft, he was the one guy who was running read option, but then they were also running plays that were 4 or 5 read plays, and where he was going down 1, 2, 3, 4, checking down to the running back, and he was just familiar and comfortable, and that's something I know he could do. but maybe it's just a little faster. He's a little bit more scared. I don't know. I sure hope it isn't, but I'm open to everything, and I just want to say, hey, I'm going to sit back and say we'll see how he develops or not, but I just can't say either or right now. With basically, it's a rookie season to me.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I kind of agree with some of that. I don't think in all entirety it should be labeled as that, but there is some validity with that, especially with how in-depth this offense should be or could be. But, I guess we also have to give credit to the Packers, Patine or Pedin, whatever his name is, defensive coordinator. We spoke about how he's a Rex Ryan disciple and mixing up views and how he could confuse Mitchell Trubisky, and that might have happened.
Yeah.
That might have went to some very exotic looks, and he just didn't either see that enough in film study or the pressure got to him. But I think some credit definitely needs to go to how the Packers made some valid adjustments even after the first quarter.
Yeah. So 2 days removed. How are you feeling now? I can see that you're a lot more calmed down than we were on the telephone. You're visibly, I didn't see it before, but I can hear it in your voice that you are not having it. And dude, I can see that you feel a little bit better now. But
well, I feel better, yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
Sure.
But, today was the first day.
You're walking all over me.
Today was the first day I got back into some national radio. Then I got back into some local radio.
Yeah.
Hearing some things still disgust me. And there's so many question marks that still need to be answered.
Sure.
Even if the Bears won, I guess there are still question marks that need to be answered. But one of the questions is Mitchell. So I guess feeling 2 days later, it's like I'm still I'm not jumping off the deep end, or I'm not giving up on this team. They are very talented, but this game kind of has the makings of a make or break season. Unfortunately, for the first game of the year, it was just such a demoralizing loss, and how well we played. And to give it up against our arch rivals on national television, we either really excel from this and we blow Seattle out and we just, win that game 20-3, or, we pack it up. And then if we pack it up, then it's like, then the whole Nagy era is essentially over, and dead man walking there. It's like, seriously, that's kind of what that loss. It was such a major loss. Now, it could be one of those things that maybe Rodgers is actually going to have a broken leg, and maybe he re-aggravates or whatever, and he's out for the year, and the Packers go 6-10, and the Bears go 10-6, and everybody forgets about this. But that's best case scenario right now. And even if the Packers win the rest of the games, is this a make or break game? And that's to be determined.
It's always been a concern to me with having a first time head coach. What happens when you deal with these moments in time of adversity? Is he going to? I couldn't even go live after that game. I was so shell shocked. I couldn't do nothing. But then I was wondering, like, man. And then I saw him speak twice now, and I'm like, you know what? This guy, I think we're gonna be all right. We might be, but hopefully they can get that stink off of them by about Wednesday or Thursday. Have some good practices and get going. So you're not totally off. You're gonna watch some more Bears games, right?
Yeah. I was so this is like one of the most invested times I've been into the Bears.
Sure.
A little bit of our interactions here on the interwebs, but just from the talent standpoint and their evolution from last year to this year, and seeing how Pace is going about things, and it was just like such an exciting moment at 7:20 to 9 o'clock on Sunday evening Central Time. It's second year quarterback, first year head coach. We got Hall of Famer Khalil Mack. I mean, I guess I'll watch week 2.
Yeah, oh, man. Hakeem Hicks was hilarious with that. I love that too.
And he looked good, man. Did he look good in the first half or what?
Dude, he looked sick. That was just another thing that was just that got you so hyped up, is that you made the move. There was the doubters out there. People were Mike Greenberg saying that you gave up 2 and you paid him, it was too much. And then he just goes and just dominates the player, the future Hall of Famer that he is. He's probably going to be wearing blue and orange in the Hall of Fame in the future. So, and just to come out and play like it, wow.
Aaron Lynch, on some of my notes, just revert back. He got to start at the other outside linebacker from there. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, I know.
I don't. He seemed more of like a run stuffer. He's a very large individual. Did you speak about that in any of your videos? Or
no, I didn't get into it. I actually did mean to get into it, but he wasn't doing a whole lot for me. Like, it's worrisome that if we don't have Mac, and Floyd was a little worrisome too, although I felt like Floyd was getting held a ton, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm not sure to get held.
I thought Floyd played well.
But it's hard. I felt like Floyd wasn't going sometimes. Well, I can't. I wish I could get into percentage and break it down, but I felt a lot of times that he was looking in at Rodgers and didn't want to get too far outside and use his speed, like what I was talking about before. Like, I could really see him. He was sort of in a kind of a spy mode to chase down. And I don't know this for a fact, but it seemed like they were trying to get their penetration from the 3 other guys and let Floyd kind of try to disengage and chase him down, because you always had to worry about that. So, but there was also some times where I saw him coming hard off the rush. So, but I did notice that they were trying to keep an eye on him because we've been burned before.
Yeah.
So, what do you have that we're confident in? You said Jordan Howard.
I'm confident in the D.
For sure.
I think a lot of that was poor defensive play calling in that second half, and just the lack of reps in the offseason or whatever, just from a fatigue standpoint. Every single player in the NFL in the second half was probably sucking wind. So
a little bit of lack of lungs.
I'm confident in Jordan Howard. I'm confident in the defense, Roquan Smith, Khalil Mack, the front 7 especially, and our safeties. I thought our safeties played pretty well, came up and hit. Mukamura and Fuller, I think they're B and C players, and just got to keep getting pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I had genuine concern for Mitch Trubisky and Matt Nagy, but I am hopeful that they're going to both mature throughout the year. But I don't want to come out and say that there's no reason to be concerned, and I feel like everyone could be concerned. I know there's a lot of people out on Twitter world and on my Instagram that people are fired up and a little bit worried about the guys. I think it's genuine, but I don't think that you can kick them both out of town just quite yet. I think there is going to be some maturation that goes on.
Oh, yeah. Let's hope.
Do you have anything else?
I think you're right.
Okay. Do you have anything else in the notes that you want to get to before you take us away?
No, I think that's good. We'll break down Seattle here coming up.
Yep.
But,
maybe like a Friday or Saturday night or something like that. We'll get those videos out. I'm Robert at ShyBears Plus on Twitter, ShyBears Plus on Instagram, and you've already found us here on YouTube and Periscope. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys, too, and hanging with us this whole video here, watching the screen. And plug yourself and take me home.
You got it. Just a fan talking football, contributing for ShyBears Plus. I'm Jeff. You can find me on Twitter at +_Shy. Bear down. That's all she wrote.